To achieve professional excellence in any chosen field of study is no easy task, and I could very well understand the effort that would have gone into realizing the professional qualification. As such, it's my duty to convey my best wishes and the felicitation to the deserving recipients who would be recognized and felicitated for the performance in the endeavor to secure knowledge and wisdom in the field of supply and material management. I had to traverse through a similar journey in realizing my ambition to become a management accountant, and looking back, I'm fully convinced that the effort was well worth the returns, especially with regard to the contribution that could be made based on professional platform, irrespective of the field of study. At this juncture, I wish to extend an invitation for all specialists in the supply and management to ensure that you resolve to make contribution to make Sri Lanka a better nation and to ensure that all Sri Lankans would be endeavored with the better tomorrow, specifically enhancing your vistas in the broadening horizons in light of the outlook of our government and the good governance to introduce innovative reforms towards a better government structure. We bear fruit for the benefit of all concerned. Within the proposed structure, an audit service commission with independent and empowered, well-resourced National Procurement Commission to ensure that methodologies adopted in procurement are modern and up-to-date will most certainly bring about positive changes to the nation, in particularly public sector. Such endeavors will ensure efficacy, transparency and accountability of all stakeholders engaged in related functions. As government of good governance, we justifiably proud of the progress made in this regard, and you would agree that the Right to Information Bill duly passed in Parliament is a significant milestone reached. We have also initiated reforms towards achieving macroeconomic stability. A prolonged global economic downturn coupled with extravagant capital expenditure on loss-making enterprises during the last regime had provided us with a challenge which has countered and surpassed with strategy coupled with wisdom. Public-private partnership as a catalyst for development of a nation has been brought into focus, and the government is committed to reap the full benefits of such enterprise to secure better results for the country. A wide spectrum of public-private partnership models have emerged with varying approaches. I do not wish to elaborate on the intricacies of such models, but wish to place emphasis on the fact that procurement procedures, availability of regulation and financial regulations of public sector is fulfilled adequately. It is clarion call for professionals to rally together to work with dedication, commitment to raise the economy of our nation from the doldrums fallen into and your contributions in the history for future generations to savor with relish. We have highlighted key legal reforms that identified in the 2016 budget, such as Payment Guarantee Security Act, Public Wealth Trust, Colombo International Financial Center, Public-Private Partnership Act, which will no doubt provide the nation a new outlook in progressive reforms relevant to the business of environment. I would also like to just give a practical experience on certain areas of supply management and logistics. You would wonder as to why I have a particular penchant for logistics and supply chain. Is simply because I do have a company of our own supplying to various international chains. And the experience that was obtained from that is no mean task. I saw a recipient of Next PLC, one of the manufacturing people working have basically won a award today. That is the type of supply chain management that needs to be brought to the world and also take advantage of Sri Lanka. Let me give you three classic examples. The company I started was basically supplying to Marks and Spencer's, the world-renowned brand which is based in UK. Up to about 15 years ago or 20 years ago, every single manufacturing any part of the world was going into UK and basically redirected from there to the 23 worldwide stations that were in their network distribution. But 20 years ago, they decided to take the most challenging country in order to provide a supply chain that could help to concentrate, bringing it into, not bringing it to one place, but have multi-delivery points. And from there, they were able to save £1.23 per garment. Now, this was just a classical example how an international chain utilized one of the most remote points of Sri Lanka, because it was a manufacturing base, and in the region they were manufacturing from Indonesia, from Malaysia, India. So they found it was logical to do so. And in this process, it certainly gave a very great practical experience to me. Thereafter, as Minister of Trade, we basically ventured doing the same thing, extending to the commodity deliveries in the country. But it was not successful even today. You would see the vicissitudes of the cost of living, which changes dramatically, is simply because of the breakdown in the supply chain management. I, as a finance minister, had the opportunity of able to see from various aspects of the economy and able to find as to why there has been a breakdown. Any country needs a supply chain. And in Sri Lanka, even though we have 25,000 outlets to sell, there's effectively only 1,200 in the country that this network is working on a more professional basis. We need to have about 5,000. And that is the only way that you'll be able to break the sense of black marketing that is there in certain elements of the economic entrepreneurs. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the professionalism comes into play. Your experience, hands-on experience, would help you to ensure that you get your knowledge pursued to your company. Likewise, I call upon, I was just speaking to Noel just a little while ago, asking how many diploma holders come out a year, and he said about 40. And I think this country requires much more at this particular moment where there's such a dearth that is there. And the supply chain has not got the due recognition that it needs to. But with such functions of this nature, we certainly must propel this into the correct area. And this is an area which you can save for a company at least 10 to 12% of the cost factors of that company. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you have today. Work hard, obtain your professional diploma today, and able to put your theoretical knowledge into practical use. I mentioned one from my own private enterprise experience, and as a government that was basically at the moment handling a very tough task. Cost of living, as ladies know, is something very sensitive, and the success of any government would be to ensure that the rapidity of increase in prices are reduced to the bare minimum. And one of the areas that we are investing heavily is on the supply chain, because we believe the supply chain being at its most efficient peak would help to take the distortions that are there in the pricing factor. That is why sometimes in March and April you see vegetable prices skyrocketing, and likewise in October, November doing the same. Because there is no proper match between the from produce to where it's consumed. And this is the reason why we are enhancing the opportunity in order to have a safer network of supply chain by increasing warehousing, by ensuring that you have cool room facilities that are there, and able to get the produce to the consumer in the least possible time. If you look at vegetables, I'm sure you would have done this test check that is there. It goes to 11 times from the point is produced to the point is consumed. Now this is at least 5 to 6 layers that are there, which is unnecessary. Every layer has a cost factor. And if you eradicate this, it will help to reduce the final price that we artificially pay for no crime committed by the consumer. So that is the reason why you need a government that is able to ensure the professionalism comes in. And that is the reason why we have put professionals to where they are. And I hope that this team that has got duly recognized today would be able to come forward for nation development. And that is a clarion call from us, and we'll do our very best. If there's any area where as a government we could assist in the supply chain management area, we are very ready, willing and able to help you. But at the end of the day, what we want to do is get the knowledge that you all have basically got from a theoretical perspective, with your practical experience, put it into good tests. So ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't want to waste further time in congratulating every one of you who has successfully got their diploma, as well as I know most of the places that you're working are significant places which are helping and contributing to the economy, but also dedicate a little time of your knowledge with the association as well. Come forward to help the supply chain of the commodity chain that is there. It is just broken down, it's non-existent. And I guess this is where if we are able to have a system which is foolproof and with practical experience, we'll be able to reduce at least 15% of the cost which comes in owing to this inefficiency that is there. So ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all the very best, and also the Supply Chain Management Materials Institute for encouraging and giving the enthusiasm and giving the leadership where it matters. Our support is there all the time. All the very best.